G'day, and thanks for joining me for Humble Choice Special Pass for February 2026. In this series, we check out the offering of the Humble Choice bundle each month to compare reviews, value, and compatibility of each game on offer. My goal is to provide you with all the information you need to decide will you smash the Choose Games button or will you pass and hope for a better offering next month. As I mentioned in the last one, I plan on evolving the format of this series, and so this entry is going to be a little bit different. Think more of a live take rather than a fully scripted video. Let me know what you think. And if you find this video useful, please consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot and keeps you informed when new videos drop. Thank you, and let's get into it. The first game in this bundle is Resident Evil Village, which is the 7th or 8th. It is the 8th major installment of the Resident Evil franchise. Now, to be honest, I haven't followed Resident Evil for quite a while. I played the originals, I played the hell out of number 4 on the GameCube back in the day, loved it. But I felt like after that they sort of fell off a bit and I never really got back into them. I know this one did become a bit of a meme for a while there because of this character, Lady something. I can't remember. Haven't played it. But there are two obvious big reasons why she's so popular, and that is, of course, her big house and her big hat. Beyond that, I think there is a cast of characters. Some of them are new, some are returning, as seems to be the usual trend with Resident Evil. So what does this one do different? I notice here it is obviously a survival horror, but it's first person. And I didn't actually realize Resident Evil moved away from the old third person or fixed perspective camera. So that's interesting. In any case, let's have a look. It was released in 2021. Wow, 5 years already. Okay. It is on sale for $15 Australian at the moment, which is kind of surprising to me. I actually thought this was a franchise that wouldn't have gone on deep discount too often, but you do find this is often the case to coincide with a feature in the Humble Choice bundle. So there you go. I think if you're going to buy the bundle just for this game, it's still probably worth buying the bundle rather than probably paying a few dollars less for the game, just because you will get other things with it as well. Also didn't realize I went down this path of season passes and DLC. I don't know what sort of quality that is. The reviews are very positive to mixed. So keep that in mind. There's also this here. It is Steam Deck verified, which tells us there's probably not kernel level anti-cheat, which is nice, but you do need to agree to a third-party end-user license agreement, which some people don't care, some people do. So keep that in mind. Also be mindful it is an R18 rated game. Obviously Resident Evil is not, very kid-friendly, but that is something to be mindful of if you are possibly sharing this or buying this for someone else. Let's take a look at some of the reviews, because it is was it overwhelmingly positive in recent reviews, wasn't it? It was, yeah, 95%, which is crazy. Okay, just about what you'd expect from Resident Evil. I do like to make note of the hours played as well. So obviously, a positive review with 12 hours is good. A negative review with 57 hours is interesting. Like, how do you get to that point? This one appears to be mostly complaining about the DRM content. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe there's some kind of launcher. I'll double check that. But the end user license agreement is ruining Resident Evil as a franchise. They're not a fan of what it actually makes you agree to, which is interesting. But if you're not too fussed about that, what about the game? This one, nearly 20 hours. Starts slow with some annoyances. It's very scripted, where you're meant to fail, for example. But once you get into the flow, good times will be had. Amazing game. Fantastic sequel. No. Reviews for this game were purchased, in my honest opinion, says Bubble. Okay. Interesting. I never leave reviews, but this game deserves one. It's pretty much a dark fantasy game with Resident Evil game mechanics and puzzles. The characters and level design are top tier as always. The only downside for me is the horror part, which was much more present in 7. Okay, so this is maybe more puzzle and tension rather than full-on horror, but still in the end it is a horror game, isn't it? Interesting. Well, I think it's hard to argue with this as a value proposition. It is very, very well received. Everyone seems to love it, and it's a good opportunity to get it if you've been waiting for it. I'm just checking. I'm not sure what this DRM thing was that reviewer was mentioning, because there's nothing mentioned here about DRM, anti-cheat. So there may be a launcher. I'm not sure if they need to declare that here, but just something to keep in mind. In any case, seems like a no-brainer, even as someone who's not really into the franchise or really into horror. I think I wouldn't complain to have this as a leading game of the bundle. So I think that's a win for me. Very good. Next we have Date Everything. I have heard of this. I don't know anything about it, but at a glance, I'm guessing it's not for me. Date Everything is a sandbox dating simulator set in the comfort of your own home, featuring 100 fully voice-acted dateable characters. I believe this person might be romancing a toilet. That would tie in with the name, Date Everything. Maybe you can ask the toilet out. I'm not sure. Okay, it was released in 2025, so it's not an old game. Currently 50% off, $25. Usually sells for over 50. That's Australian, of course. So what is going on? I think I know who this game is for, and I don't think it's me, just based on the art style. Okay, it is Steam Deck verified, which is good, so you can play it on the go. You shouldn't have any issues on your Steam Deck. There is no DRM or end-user license agreement, which is wonderful. Okay, we've got some merchandise. I think they're selling those character body pillows. I want one with a toilet on it, please. There is also a DLC as well. There you go. Let's check out some of these reviews. So it is a dating sim, romance. It's cute. It's got LGBTQ+ content in there, so it's probably, considering you can date everything, there's 100 fully voice acted characters, I'm guessing there's quite a bit of variety in there. Let's just put it that way. Reviews are very positive. Oops, I didn't see the percentage there. 94% overall, 89% recently. Let's see what's happened recently. Not recommended after 43 hours. I felt like stepping on eggshells playing this game. Some characters are fun, but a whole lot of them are toxic. Oh dear. Which means there's always one right answer, and the rest will make someone hate you. Okay, that does sound a bit frustrating. Not gonna lie, this game has so many flaws, like how unappealing and filler-like most of the cast is, but it's hard to stay mad when the voice acting is so good. Also, Harper is hot. Thank you, Palav. 5 hours. Nice. Absolutely smashing game. It's a little crazy how long it is, but that just means it's utterly packed with content. Okay. So again, it is a dating sim. It is impressive, obviously, they've got 100 voice-acted characters, but if you're not into dating sims, I don't think it matters how many characters there are, right? Voice acting was really good. I'm really curious every time I meet a new friend, but the romance is really disappointing. I wanted doing stupid stuff than just a chit-chat. Fair enough. Bazoomies, well said. So there doesn't seem to be any particularly outstanding negative to it. I think it's just a matter of if this is the kind of game you would enjoy, you'll probably enjoy it. If you're not into dating sims, you might not. Terribly made physics engine and input mechanics. Why is there a physics engine? I thought it was a dating sim. The gimmick is cute, and I can understand that trying to make 100 unique, interesting characters out of household appliances and objects can be hard. But this game's novelty wore off as soon as the first failed attempt at comedy assaulted my eyes and ears. Maybe a little bit dramatic, but yeah. So not a perfect game, but it does seem like if you're interested in this kind of thing, you might enjoy it. Overall, it is well received, but personally for me, not interested in this kind of game and don't really see the appeal. I don't see myself playing this even if I got it in the bundle. So for me, that's a pass.
Bummer.
Moving on, next is Core Keeper. Now this one I can talk about because I've played quite a lot of this. I think it was a couple of years ago I got the spicy cough and I was basically stuck at home for a week, and this game happened to come across my Steam page at some point, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to play the hell out of this, and I did for a week. I think I finished everything that was available at the time. There was quite a lot, and there's probably been a couple of updates even since then. If you're not aware, Core Keeper is an open world survival. It's a 2D sort of sprite-based pixel art kind of game, very reminiscent of something like Stardew Valley. And in this one, you explore basically a cave. You're in a huge cavern with, oh, let's read this, relics and resources in a mining sandbox adventure for up to 8 players. Mine, build, fight, craft, and farm to unravel the mystery of the ancient core. So it's got all the standard tropes in there. You can farm, you mine, you craft. This one also has co-op. I didn't actually get to play it co-op, but I'm sure it would be quite fun because it was a pretty varied game. You get things like this with some automation. You can actually mine these resources and put them on conveyor belts and put them into, manufacturing and things like that, which is kind of unique for this kind of game. But it was a welcome touch. I remember it has been a little while, I'll be honest, but I do remember the boss fights being pretty interesting, and the progression as well, because you sort of start in the center, you go off in different directions and unlock different things, visit different biomes. It kept it interesting all the way through, that I found. It was released in 2024, and it usually sells for around $30. So again, not a bad value proposition if you're just going to get the bundle for this, and everything else is a bonus. It is Steam Deck verified, which is great because this would be pretty awesome, I think, to play on the go on a handheld rather than at a desk. Seems well suited for that kind of thing. Not seeing any DLC or end-user license agreements, which is always good. And the only DLC seems to be the soundtrack, so that's just something you can pick up extra if you want to support the devs, but it's not like you're missing out on any content if you don't. Let's have a look at some of the reviews. Recently, they're 91% very positive overall. 94% very positive. So again, another really well received game. What was this last one actually? It was very positive 89, so around 90. 95. So that's 3 games off the bat that are basically above 90%, which is pretty impressive. Okay. Overall, the game is solid, but the attempt to implement pseudo-classes reminiscent of Terraria has sparked plenty of controversy, has it? Do these M-dashes also spark controversy? You also played 3 hours when you reviewed, so I'm not sure if that's really fair. How about this one? It's negative after 16 hours. First few hours of fun. There was a lot of great exploration and some gear for every class, but after a while, having basically no options for mobility apart from building minecart tracks and finding a teleporter made it annoying to explore. Yeah, that's a fair criticism. There's no option to turn on keep inventory. I assume that means if you die, you lose your things and you can't change that. I guess that's just a difficulty measure, a skill issue. Core Keeper starts as an absolute gem and ends as a test of your patience. That's 2 negatives in a row that said it starts off well and then slows down, which I think is fair. The first 20 hours are magical. Feels like the perfect love child of Terraria and Stardew Valley, which we've sort of already had a couple of references to as comparisons. Mining through the dark, discovering new biomes and setting up your little farm, and fighting the first few bosses is genuinely addictive, and I do remember that being exactly the case. Then you hit mid to late game and the fun just stops. The bosses are easy, but annoying. It doesn't feel like having a proper challenge, just a nuisance. Fair enough. Not how I remember it, but, this guy, I think, probably played just as much as me, maybe a bit more. My opinion is like gold, but I won't be giving it today. Wonderful. So, plenty of positive reviews. Here's a good one. Nearly 200 hours on record. And he's broken that one down into different categories. Idea, good, fun, 9 out of 10. Sound effects visuals, 8.5. Value, 8. 9.5 out of 10. With somehow nearly 200 hours and 100% achievements, I can confidently say I enjoyed this game. Well, that's a safe bet, I bet. I love pixel art games, and this one checks the list of crafting, building, and combat. Varied weaponry. Melee ranged magic and summons, and co-op chaos. It's like if modern Minecraft was 2D. Interesting take. Fun and colourful, bright and vibrant, but dark and enticing. I love the gameplay and the mechanics are fun. I love the dungeon crawling aspect as well. So people do like the gameplay, they like the presentation, and it is quite an impressive looking game. I mean, you can have a look at some of these effects here. It's not just a simple sprite-based game, that's for sure. A lot of effort's gone into making this look good, and then they do pull it off. One thing I would love to try is actually to go back and play co-op with a few friends, because I reckon that could be pretty chaotic and pretty fun. Personally, I would have recommended this regardless, but if it's in a bundle, why not? It'd be silly not to get it. Next up is StarVaders, and this is another one we're familiar with because I covered the pre-release version of this, or possibly the demo, before it came out on my channel like a year ago. And I had a really good time with it. It's an interesting little sort of puzzly game. You have your pilot here. Yeah, you basically, it's a deck builder as well. You build your deck with different units and abilities and skills, and basically you face off against this alien invasion on this grid. And It got pretty complex, but it was always very satisfying and very fun. You pilot a powerful mech to fight off the alien invasion in this ultimate fusion of deck building and grid-based tactics, which are two of my all-time favorites. Discover game-breaking combos, rewind time to alter your fate, and protect the future of humanity in this endlessly replayable roguelike. This was really good. I was going to say, I'm going to recommend this straight off the bat. It was really fun, even just playing the pre-release demo. It's got all the tropes, it's got all the standard stuff you'd find from, a roguelike and a deck builder. You've got your shop here. Every run is going to be different. You've got your choice on different battles to take on at any given time. And that changes your rewards and how you progress, and also the difficulty of the game as well. So you are in a bit of control there. Was released on the 1st of May 2025, and currently is on sale for $28. Usually sells for around $37. Not bad, especially getting this in the bundle. Good deal. Comes in a bundle with a few other games as well. Slay the Spire, if you haven't played that already. I mean, what are you waiting for? Get that. All looking pretty positive. It is Steam Deck verified, which is good, because these ones are turn-based, they're not action-packed, so it doesn't really matter if you're playing on a controller or on a handheld. You can stop and look around. You're not going to basically lose anything, which is good. No DRM, no end-user license agreement, which is always good to see. Let's check out some of these reviews. So overwhelmingly positive, 95% recent, 98% positive lifetime. That's 2,000 reviews. That's ridiculous. I knew it was good. I actually had no idea it was this well received. I sort of, after I played it and reviewed it, I thought, yep, that's really good. Put it down and sort of forgot about it, but people are loving it. That's awesome. Congratulations to the devs. Ridiculously addicting. Easy to pick up, easy to play. Hits the sweet spot between challenge and fun without feeling overwhelming. Yep, and I'd agree with that 100%. Well done, Space Invader-ish deck building grid tactical roguelike. I mean, a bunch of buzzwords, but there's no lie there. Good. Well said. B+ roguelike deck builder. 12 characters. Jeez, I think when I played I only had 3 or something. Impossible difficulty is an RNG fest, the rest are unchallenging. Okay, so if you're an experienced deck builder or roguelike player, you might find it a little bit easy, but you have the impossible difficulty if it's too easy for you, I suppose. Weirdly easy to win the true ending, but the challenge modes afterwards are where the game really shines. There you go. So it should have enough for everyone, really. Like if you're after a real challenge, it's there for you. If you're after a more casual experience, play to the end and you're done. So it looks like it's going to be accessible to everyone, regardless of what you're looking for. And I've got to say, the art style and the characters and everything all look really good. So it's not just a fun game, but it's presented really well in addition to that. I'm struggling to find a negative review. Let's have a look. There are 100 of them. I really enjoy the game until I tried to unlock the third character. Now everyone forces no-win scenarios on me. Okay. I can't really relate to what they're talking about. I'm not quite sure, but maybe there is something there that maybe spikes the difficulty. Cool concept, but falls flat on the enjoyment factor. Well, I think, yeah, okay. So people, it's not for everyone, obviously. People have their opinions. So I'm trying to find some real criticism. This person left a negative review after 0.1 hour. Why bother? It's fun, but also quite easy. So I guess difficulty might be one of the main complaints. No ultra wide, yeah, righto. I thought I loved this game since I'm a big fan of Into the Breach and Mega Man Battle Network, but apparently not. And actually, those are two pretty good comparisons, actually, and I'm a fan of both of those as well. So if you're a fan of those, at least for me, I'd say you'd enjoy it. This person, obviously, a little bit different. I expected to see like 5 mechs at least, but there's only 3 of them. Okay. Oh, right, so you got a bunch of different pilots, but only a few mechs for them to pilot, I see. The game's pretty good, but something feels off. Okay. Well, as you can see, it's not for everyone, but there's no real, if there was a real flaw with the game, something really wrong with it, you would see that over and over and over in the reviews. We're not really seeing that. Overall, it's a really good game, and if it's your kind of game, you'll probably love it. If it's not your kind of game, maybe not. For me, definitely recommend it. Next up we have Squirrel with a Gun. All right. That's a squirrel, and he's got a gun. No lie there. This one I'm not familiar with. Squirrel meet gun. As the neighborhood's most obnoxious rodent, develop a knack and a love for crime and mayhem in pursuit of golden acorns in this nutty sandbox shooter and puzzle platformer. Interesting. Cool. You get accessories. You can put a little hat on your squirrel. Why not? This seems like one of those gimmicky sandboxy games, like, you know, your goat simulator, that kind of thing, which I've never really got into. Okay, so it's like a third-person shooter, sandbox. Okay. Right. So it's got the collectibles, it's got the random chaos, it's got that's a cow rodent. Platforming, collectibles. Yep. It looks cool. It's an interesting concept. I don't know if it's... I don't know if I'm the target audience. Let's read on. It was released in 2024, so it's a couple of years old now, and sells for around $30. It is Steam Deck verified, which makes sense, because I imagine this is the kind of thing I'd expect to see a kid playing on their Switch or something. Just like Goat Simulator, really. No DLC, which is good. No end-user license agreements or DRM, which is also good. Let's check out some of the reviews. Very positive. 81% of recent reviews are positive, 86% of all time are positive. So again, another pretty well-received game. It reminds me of Goat Simulator, there you go. It's similar in many ways. It's not the most thrilling experience, but the game... and the game loses its novelty after a couple of hours, which, yeah, I would probably expect that. Haha, look, the squirrel is holding a gun. My reaction, exactly. It's like Goat Simulator with no goats. Okay, so I'm guessing that was a pretty good comparison after all. This is a joke game, which would be funny, I guess, but it's not fun. It controls terribly, the platforming is terrible, everything's just not fun. Well, all the positive reviews are saying it's chaos, it's fun, it's like Goat Simulator, but no one's talking about the gameplay elements. Devs surely saw Ice Age and asked a question, what if Scrat had a gun? I'm assuming Scrat is the little dude trying to get his acorn and failing miserably. Sorry, it's not for me, and I wouldn't recommend it to my friends either. If the premise of Squirrel with a gun is enough to make you interested, you'll probably have fun with it. And don't need to wade through this wall of text. Yeah, that's probably fair. Got the game, got the free Pride DLC, pick up Pride items, and see they increase brick damage, and flags become Pride flags. Okay, I actually thought there was no DLC. Did I miss that? Unless it was an update, or maybe there's in-game purchases. I'm not entirely sure, but in any case. Sounds like you know what you're going to get with it. It's a crazy physics-based platformer with a funny concept. If that's something you're interested in, you might enjoy it. For me, I'd probably give this one a pass.
Bummer.
We'll move on to SteamWorld Build. SteamWorld Build is a casual city building and dungeon management crossover set in the SteamWorld universe. Interesting. It's a casual, relaxing city builder with economy elements. So I'm not familiar with this one. I am familiar with the franchise. I played a few of the SteamWorld, I think they were SteamWorld Dig, and there was another one as well. And they've always been really good. They've got games in like every genre now. There's platformers, there's turn-based tactics ones, there's a city builder as we're seeing here. It's a really fun and interesting franchise. It's a really nice, cool setting, cool characters, and yeah, I've never played one that I didn't enjoy. So that's pretty positive. Looks interesting. I am a fan of city builders, and dungeon management is always appealing. If I'm thinking of things like Dungeon Keeper and, you know, Evil Genius, that kind of thing. So you got logistics and resource management as well by looks, maybe a bit of farming. Mining, here's the dungeon. Oh yeah, and it does look very much like a Dungeon Keeper with this sort of grid-based setup. Looks interesting. Let's check out a bit of the gameplay in action, if this wants to load. Okay, got some big old carrots. Cool little town. There's people walking around and going about their business. Looks interesting. This was released in December 2023. It currently sells for $36.50. So again, if you were interested, bundle's a great way to get it. Single player only. There is a third-party end-user license agreement you have to agree to, but I'm not seeing any DRM, which is nice. It is playable on the Steam Deck, not verified. It functionally works. Some in-game text might be a bit small and difficult to read, so if that's not a deal breaker for you, you'll probably still have a good time with it. There is some DLC. There is a soundtrack. And, oh, these are just other games, are they? Oh no, SteamWorld Build Mechanized is a DLC. Gotcha. And has no reviews, so I can't tell you how good that is. In any case, that's not included in the bundle, I'm thinking, so there you go. Let's scroll down and check out some of these reviews. They are very positive, 92% recent, 83% all-time. It's usually the opposite, I find, that the recent reviews might go down because something might have happened, or an update might have set some people off or something like that, but this is actually getting more positive in recent times. Extremely friendly city management building game. Casual and fun with some replayability. B. That's all you need to know. Good for the first time city builder. Good for a day when you want to chill. Nice. Pros. Red, green, blue and yellow workers that are simple to understand. SteamWorld IP. Not bad. Cons. Dungeons. It's the same game, isn't it? But it's Dungeon Keeper. It's not Dungeon Keeper. Ah, sorry, they're comparing it to the Dungeons franchise. So that's a similar game to Dungeon Keeper, but, modernized and revamped without sort of, they're legally distinct, shall we say. Underground UI controls are horrible. 8 buttons, okay. Confusing UIs. Supports for instability, is this necessary? I'm assuming they mean instability of the dungeons or the game itself. They need to build supports to have the dungeon not collapse in on itself, maybe? Could only speculate. Low replayability. I tried 2 maps just to see if there was a difference. Nothing, it's just the shape of the map. There you go. So, not a perfect game, but a good combination of dungeon exploration and city building, which makes it unique. SimCity wannabe mixed with a poor man's Dungeon Keeper. I usually like city builders, but this one has no challenge, no economy, basically no game over. Once you're done with the scenario, that's about it. There's no incentive of playing another stage. I see. So it might be, maybe that's the major criticism, is that the challenge just isn't there. It's very casual. It seems like there's no easy way to lose. And the city building might even be just sort of set dressing while you're doing the real work in the dungeons underneath. Maybe that's the major part of the game. In any case, I think I'd be keen to give this one a go. It's not, the highest rated game. There are some flaws, obviously, but as I said, this franchise has not let me down yet. It's always quality. It's always fun. And even if this is a little bit simple, I don't mind the idea of a casual city builder if there is a little bit of a challenge in something else like the dungeon side of things. So for me, I'm interested in it, and I will definitely check this one out. Next up, we have a Bus Simulator 21. Next Stop. Okay, never played a bus simulator game, so I'm assuming you drive a bus. Bus Simulator 21 Next Stop offers the most comprehensive bus fleet in the history of the series with 30 officially licensed buses. Drive on 2 vastly different maps, alone or with a friend. Play with extended management elements or just enjoy your time on the road. Okay, so I assume this is similar to, truck, is it Euro Truck Simulator? Where you just get behind the wheel in a, realistic simulation of the vehicle. And off you go. Sounds like it can be a bit sandboxy, but you also have, your management elements as well, which I assume you're managing the bus company or maybe just your own bus route. I'm not sure. Doesn't look too bad. So it's the 21 edition. So it's obviously a few years old now. And I'm guessing this will be a promotion because there'll be a Bus Simulator 26 or 27 coming out. So this is a good way to drum up a bit of interest in the franchise. And certainly if it wasn't here in front of me, I wouldn't have been thinking about it. So there you go. So again, released in September 2021. Usually sells for $51 still. Wow, okay. But currently on sale for $17 or $18. So still, if you want it, good value to get it in the bundle. It is Steam Deck verified, which is nice. So you could actually sit on the bus and play this on your Steam Deck, if you're that way inclined. There is a third-party end-user license agreement, but no DRM as far as we can see here. So pretty standard stuff. And yeah, this looks like you drive around different places and do bussy related things. The reviews are 73% positive, mostly positive all time, 78% recent, so not the most well-regarded game, I guess. Let's have a look and see what's going on. Bussy. It is so good. I recommend getting the Tram DLC. 42 hours. Fair enough. How do I put this? The game has some interesting ideas like running your own company and creating routes, but it's really not fun to play. That combined with poor optimization, bugs, and the buses driving like a sack of potatoes make this an awful experience. Well, if you can't get the driving mechanics right in a driving game, you might be in trouble. So many bugs years after release, and driving feels like me after 9 beers. But hey, at least we can put rainbow flags on the buses. I probably shouldn't have given you a platform. No, not a fun game at all. Or addicting 50 hours. So I think it really depends on what you're into. If you're into these driving games, like, you know, Truck Simulator, that kind of thing, might be right up your alley. If you have a wheel setup, you're probably going to have a better time than playing with a controller. Oh, it'd be nice if this was VR compatible. I don't think it is, but, you know, this kind of thing with a, you know, a proper steering wheel setup with pedals would be actually pretty awesome. But maybe that's something you might need to mod, if that's even possible. I'm not sure. In any case, it's basically what it says on the package. You've got a bus simulator. You want to drive a bus? Get Bus Simulator. For me, nah.
Bummer.
Not my cup of tea. Alright, and finally we have Big Helmet Heroes. Never heard of it. Throw yourself into an epic 3D beat-em-up adventure with adorable knights full of surprising worlds and situations. Grab your buddy and play in 2-player co-op to save the princess. But this is only the beginning. I see. So we have a co-op beat-em-up hack and slash. That's a bit arcadey. It looks interesting, like it's not a bad little art style. Giant knight up there having a little drink. Okay, so it's obviously got some varied areas to explore. And the co-op element is always a plus. Okay, yeah, so check out some gameplay here. Looks pretty standard for this kind of top-down hack and slash, I guess. Does look like it has lots of variety. I'll be interested to see the playtime of some of these reviews. See how deep it goes. This was released in February 2025, so just about a year ago, which is interesting. It sells for $38. And there's an Exalted edition, which includes an art book and a soundtrack, but that's obviously not in the Humble Bundle. Steam Deck verified. That's probably a good thing, because this does seem like the kind of game you can play on a handheld. And the devs recommend playing this game with a controller, as you'd probably expect. Not seeing any DRM or end-user license agreement, which is lovely. Let's check out some of these reviews. Recent reviews are 95% positive. Overall reviews are 78% positive. So what's happened in the last 30 days? And I wonder if it's because it's in the Humble Bundle. Oh, okay. Well, that's not what I expected from a 95% positive game. Not recommended after 16 hours or 7. Hang on. Not recommended at 7 hours, but you've gone and played twice as much again after that. Unfinished crap game full of bugs. Why did you add exalted difficulty in the game after beating hard? Do you think this is one of those games people want to play more than once? Just add the damn difficulty straight up. Okay, that's probably a fair point. Level 13 has no sounds, but still good enough to to recommend it. Not bad, pretty fun. Unfortunately quite boring. Enemies are repetitive. This is kind of like Castle Crashers in 3D. I remember that one. Fun little side scroller, no complaints. This is negative. It's frantic, it's fun. What's wrong with it? Repetitive. That seems to be the common theme here. It's repetitive. He doesn't want to play it again to unlock the extra difficulty. It's boring and repetitive. Repetitive. Very fun, lots of different maps and levels, but the character's combat mechanics makes it feel kind of repetitive. Even the positive reviews are saying repetitive, so that might give you an idea of what to expect. And I think really, just from looking at it, you can probably get an idea of what kind of game it's going to be, and you'd probably know from that whether you're going to enjoy it or not. Might be good if you've got a partner or a kid maybe to play with, just to have a little bit of a co-op adventure, because these things are always more fun with someone else, so you could be silly and have a bit of fun with it. But if you're on your own, I probably don't see a lot of appeal to it. I mean, I don't think it does much that other games haven't already done, and if it's that repetitive, you know, it's going to be maybe a one and done sort of game, not something you're going to keep coming back to. In any case, probably not for me. If it's your kind of game, I reckon you might enjoy it, but it's hard to recommend based on what we've seen so far.
Bummer.
And there we have it, the 8 games featured in the February 2026 Humble Choice Bundle. We've got a decent mix, it's a fair balance. I think I had 4 smashes and 4 passes. One thing I did notice is that the positive games are all very, very highly rated. But the other 4 games are probably a little bit situational. It's like they're like this Date Everything game. You know, if it's your kind of game, go for it. I'm guessing a lot of people are probably just not going to find that very appealing. But there is something in here for everyone, I guess. If you like your, you know, AAA horror game, you got your Resident Evil, you've got your indie pixel-based ones, you got a open world adventure with crafting, you've got a roguelike deck builder, you've got a city builder, and you can drive some buses around. Even if I'm not going to play 4 of these games, I think the bundle is a smash for me. I think it's worth it. Core Keeper, I already own that. I'm going to gift that to someone. It's a great game. StarVaders, excellent. Definitely, I would get it just for that, probably, to be honest. Resident Evil, as I mentioned, not something I've been hugely interested in following, but I mean, if I'm going to get it in the bundle, I'm probably going to give it a go. And SteamWorld Build is something I'm going to try, but the others, probably not even going to bother. But again, if you love games like Goat Simulator or Dating Sims, there's an extra game or 2 there for you. And with that, I will wrap it up. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry this video was a little bit more just thrown together compared to my usual scripted style. I just thought I would try and see how it felt, make it a bit more natural, and then I'm finding out the information at the same time that you guys are, and we can, you know, sort of make it a bit of a conversation rather than just here's what I found out. If you like this format, or if you preferred the previous format, please let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you preferred, or if there's any other changes you might recommend. And with that, I'm out. Thank you again for watching. If you like this and want to see more like it, please consider subscribing. It helps me a lot and keeps you in the loop when new videos drop. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.